And welcome back. Bronx Independent Living Services is a not-for-profit organization that's committed to empowering individuals with disabilities. Now, through various programs, BILLS promotes self-determination and drives community change while offering tailored disability awareness initiatives for corporations, government agencies, and service providers. Here now, sharing more, we've got the Executive Director of Bronx Independent Living Services, Manuel Perez. And Manuel, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Well, really, have the opportunity to share with you this month, and we know that June is Disability Pride Month, and so for you, what does that mean?
Well, in general, disability pride in itself. So you have two separate issues. You have pride and you have disability pride. But for our organization, it means an opportunity for those who have disabilities to also be a part of that other movement with pride itself. So I think in general, it just means that it's more of a network that we can reach out to. We can reach out to the community and we can further engage with individuals who have disabilities but are also part of the LGBTQ platform as well. So
yeah, and let's talk a little bit about just the services that you provide, because when it comes to people with disabilities, we know that sometimes services are sparse, but you do offer a wide array right there under your doorstep to be able to really service people.
absolutely. The Bronx Independent Living Services, we offer sort of the full spectrum, so to speak. We offer employment services for those who are seeking, just to be able to come back into the employment community. We also offer crime victim services. We offer housing services for individuals who are in nursing homes and they're looking to engage and transition back into sort of an independent living where they can engage and have their own housing. So we offer those services as well. We offer peer integration services. We offer community outreach services. We partner with several schools throughout New York City where we offer back to school events, and we have children come in to the office and we can just further engage, and especially those, it's important to know that we are an independent living center, and independent living centers are governed by people with disabilities to service people with disabilities. We're part of a vast network. New York City has 5 independent living centers, one for each borough, and we happen to represent the beautiful people of the Bronx.
And we're excited to have you here in the borough of the Bronx, really representing and doing that. Take us under your roof for a moment. For people who may not know, what are some of the services that you find to be more prevalent coming to your door right now? Because we live in a community where housing is a major issue. We talk about food insecurity, major issue right there. What are some of the major issues that you're finding through your under your roof right now?
The two major issues I can honestly say would be housing and employment. So in terms of employment, it's for individuals who have disabilities to be able to join the workforce. We have several programs that are funded by state contracts. One of them, Access VR, which is through the New York State Department of Education, and it allows individuals who currently are receiving SSI and SDI benefits to come back into the workforce and sort of get them, earning a higher compensation rate than what they would get normally from their disability benefits. So it's a program that we've been operating for a couple of years now. It's one of our largest programs. Then we also have housing programs. Obviously, housing in general in New York City to anyone is just, a sensitive issue, especially now, with the migrant crisis. So individuals with disabilities, we offer them the opportunity to and live independently and find suitable housing where they have not only the empowerment to live alone and independent, but to also access the communities and the facilities in which they will be residing to make sure that they're accessible and they are, disabilities, so people with disabilities can actually enter those units and not find any kind of barrier, sort of staircases so that's, one of the more difficult issues with housing as well, is to finding a suitable place where, wheelchair users might be able to enter the units without needing assistance.
I know that a lot of new construction is always ADA compliant, but we do have a lot of existing structures that exist the ADA compliance that really causes some challenges for those people with disabilities. Talk to us about the progress that's been made and still the work that needs to be done.
Well, as a representative of the Bronx, most of the Bronx are older buildings, a lot of older buildings, and these are pre-war buildings. And some of these buildings were not built with the disabled in mind. The Americans with Disability Act came after World War II, so now, like you mentioned, the newer buildings are ADA compliant, but the older building is, they're just not just accessible for wheelchair users or people with disabilities. So the issue here is it's advocacy on top of services. So one spectrum that we perform are the services for those looking to, walk into our office and utilize those services. But the advocacy part is also reaching out to politicians, reaching out to stakeholders, reaching out to individuals who have the decision-making ability to force these landlords to make their buildings ADA accessible, which could increase the number of housing units that we have available.
So can you share with me also a little bit about the deaf community? Because obviously a big population across New York City. Talk to us about the services that are available for your deaf clients.
So we do have contracts with the Office of Victim Services, which also includes some of our deaf clients, and our deaf or hard of hearing clients as well can come in, and we can also engage with them, and we can provide the same level of services in terms of employment, in terms of housing, and we also have a crime victim services where individuals who, let's say, deaf or hard of hearing are not able to speak to speak to the nature of the crime or the nature of what's occurring. So we do have our counselors that are trained properly. They do speak American Sign Language. Most of our staff are actually training to learn American Sign Language through the University of New York. So we do encourage, again, deaf clients to come into our office and utilize our services. We also provide them public benefits. We provide them support. We can guide them, and if we can't provide the services for them, we can send them to the units in New York City and to the agencies that could provide the help that they require.
And you do offer referral services. I do want to make sure that we, emphasize that. Give us a little bit more insight into the referral process because, you're doing a great job there. You have a whole list, and I don't want to say a plethora, if you will, and you're out there with many referrals that can actually advance the work for you and then also assist your clients.
Absolutely. So our referrals can come to us from state agencies through the New York City Department of Education, through NIO, which is the New York Association for Independent Living, Access that's with NICED, which is the New York Department of Education, and then we also have referrals that we give other agencies. And there's other independent living centers that we also can get referrals from through other programs such as New York Connects. So, it's just a network of brotherhood and sisterhood of individuals in the disability community who all engage together to find individuals the help that they need. And it's not just, we are the Bronx Independent Living Services, but we also are a New York City-based organization. So our office is open to anyone who is willing to walk in and in need of our services. It doesn't require you to be a resident of the Bronx. It's just the region in which we operate.
I like how you say that, Manuel. And so thank you so much for being with us, Manuel Perez, giving us some information. He is the executive director of the Bronx Independent Living Services, better known as BILLS. And now for more information, do us a favor, visit the website at bills.org. There you can find out what you need to know and find out about those referral services and the variety of other services that are offered by the Bronx Independent Living Services. Listen, don't go anywhere. We got more show, back with more open. We're coming right back right after this.